tons of it. I mean, what do you think we're doing out here in the middle of the desert? It's all this money.
I was always fascinated by Las Vegas, and I always wanted to write about Las Vegas. And then suddenly, in this case, is a trial, skimming by the Chicago and Milwaukee wise guys, and these men, and the Teamster Pension Fund that had put up all this money for the casinos. And the whole thing was laid out in court. And here, suddenly, I found a great story about the mob and their connections in the Teamsters Pension Fund, buying a casino with a front man, putting a brilliant gambler in charge of it. The whole thing should have been magical, and the whole thing collapsed, and it was all real. It was a great story, and I just jumped on it.
Nick pitched this idea of Las Vegas in the 1970s to Universal Brass and front office, and he got very excited about it. And so, the way I can remember it, when I did Last Temptation of Christ at Universal, actually it was an independent film picked up by Universal, that led to working on a number of projects. Then I went off to do Age of Innocence, and then I owed film to Universal. And at the same time, having had such a good experience with Nick Pileggi on Goodfellas, I thought it would be interesting, so Universal thought it would be interesting to revisit the genre that we had kind of explored fully in Goodfellas, but take it to another level, and take it to a national level in a way. And Las Vegas sort of representing America and representing, in a sense, representing Hollywood.
It's the kind of material that everybody wants Marty to do, which I think sometimes, he's unhappy with, because he wants to stretch and do other things, and, people want him to do movies about that, the neighborhood and the guys and the characters that he just directs so well.
There's no doubt about it that it's a kind of a sequel to Goodfellas. Not direct sequel, but it deals with that world, but only on a bigger scale. And more, it's a film of excess, a world of excess.
DJ 19, second base of Beard.
I was working on the book, and a lot of these people were not cooperative. Including the Ace Rothstein character, real Ace Rothstein, wasn't cooperative. And he was cooperative. He's a brilliant man, but what did he need with a book? He's very wealthy, very smart, and he didn't need his ego played around with in such a way. But then word got out that Marty and I were going to be doing a casino movie next, and Marty had mentioned Bob would play one of the parts. And somehow that got a Variety or some newspaper, because this guy is in Florida, and I got a call from him. He said, are you guys turning this into a movie? I said, well, let's, get a book and we get started. And he said, and then I see or hear that Robert De Niro was going to play the part of it. I said, yeah, that looks like it. Robert De Niro is the greatest actor of his generation. I said, well, I'm not going to argue with it. And then he said, could I meet Robert De Niro? I said, of course you can. How are you? This was an open. And so I called Marty, talked to Bob De Niro, and he got on a plane and went right down to see this guy, Ace, in Florida. And they really did it. And when the movie was announced, suddenly it became easier to get information from me. And people who slammed doors in my faces, hung up, had their lawyers threaten me, all of a sudden they're calling me up to meet Bob De Niro and Sharon Stone and Joe Pesci and all these things. So, I'm the writer, I'm there, and all of a sudden it opened up. So I immediately started doing all of the material that we had for the book, put it into the movie.
Nick hadn't actually finished writing the book, so it's a much different process developing Casino, because with Goodfellas he had the book finished, and it was an easier process adapting from a book which had a real structure, and in this case it was like a pile of notes.
I had already outlined the book to some degree, and Marty had gone over the outline, and we try to say, what is the narrative storyline? And then I'll come up with a version, and then he'll come up with a version, and we kind of move it around until we have the structure. And once he knew what the narrative of the book was, and everything that was going to be in the book, he then was able to juggle it around in his head to make it a movie. The book, you go back and look at the book is a basic, straight narrative. It's basically chronological. It might jump around a little bit, but not that much. The movie is a wilder journey.
You ever do anything like that again, I'll fucking kill you. You can spot these assholes by watching the way they bet. Like this guy. He's betting lavender chips at 500 each with only one little problem. He's always guessed right.
It's based on riffs, you know, men talking, telling stories, going off on tangents and digressions. And how far could you go off on a digression and still bring it in, back in it, cut it to a certain point as fast, then bring it back into the main line of narrative. And that's always, some people have agreed that that happened in the film, and others have said that's one of the problems with the film, that it didn't happen. But it's a style that we kind of started in Goodfellas, and Nick and I. And then so Nick and I took that style that we developed and took it to its furthest limits, and shaping with many asides, taken through the narrative by the use of voiceover.
Voiceover is key, but it's got to be real voiceover. And I talked to these guys. I got them on tape, and you can't write them. You can't write the way a guy out of the Chicago gangs talks.
Here was a perfect partner. I mean, what the fuck else could he be? He didn't know too much. He didn't want to know too much, especially that the bosses made the Teamsters lend him the money. He wanted to believe the Teamsters gave him all that fucking money because he was smart.
So when you've got that body of dialogue, how can you not use it? It's priceless. And so we made it so that it was a part of the narrative.
What am I gonna do? Go back home and start a war? I mean, Nicky's a made guy, and I'm not. I can't do that.
But as I got more voices, and as these people began to open up a little bit, in the end, we had one voiceover, then we realized we had a couple.
Ace was so fucking worried about his casino, he forgot what we were doing out here in the first place.
There's even one line of voiceover from Frank Vincent's character that breaks the whole rhythm, but it's a very important line.
There's one thing about these old timers. They don't like any fucking around with the other guy's wives. It's bad for business. So I lied.
And so it was important to bring his third character, my character, in there. Hear his voice. It's mine. It's the only one you do in the film.
And background action, action! FBI! Don't be alarmed. They have business to do.
I think the big highlights of it are true. Of course, it's hard to sometimes always stick totally to the truth because it's just that cinematic and, you know, sometimes what happened on Tuesday, but in our movie is going to happen on Friday. And some people will actually be very offended by that and upset by it. It was Nick's job to make Ace understand and to get him to approve because he did read the script and he did have to approve the script, which always makes studios very nervous and writers very nervous.
The minute I finished working on the movie, I immediately went back to the
Excuse
book.
me.
And I was typing every minute. My editor, Michael Porter, was unbelievably helpful. Really nervous. I had to get the book out before the movie. It's hard. They're already shooting the movie in Las Vegas when I'm here still typing. I can't imagine the mob getting to a better position than they were in Vegas in the 70s before they lost it all.